Hello everyone, my name is Tristan from the CPAPstore.ca, your trusted supplier for all CPAP supplies in Canada. Today we're going to be looking at the Philips Respironics DreamWisp mask. It's part DreamWear, it's part Wisp. What is it? It's DreamWisp is what it is. So this right here is our little dummy head, and we have the mask on it. I'm just going to show you all the features and see maybe perhaps you like it and perhaps it's the right mask for you, or maybe it's not the right mask for you. So starting with the elbow, we have a typical connection port for your tubing here. We have an ResMed AirSense 11 here, but goes on the tubing and the elbow just fine, okay? Now, if you just pull off straight, there's enough friction where the quick release will come off there. So if you're in the middle of the night, you don't want to take off the mask, you want to go to the washroom, you can take off this quick release. However, it's pretty, I wouldn't say it's hard to take off, but there's no like button or anything to like press to know you're taking it off. So you just kind of have to hope that it slides off. But it does seem to slide off quickly enough or easily enough where the hose portion doesn't come off. Of course, if you want to take off the tube, you bend it sideways and kind of wiggle it off like that. I'll show you one more time. Just kind of bend it like that. And then if you want to pull straight, it'll come off like that. Okay, we have some a few holes here for exhalation ports and a hole down here for an exhalation relief port as well. We're going to talk about them later. On the side, as you can see, it's a hollow frame top mounted mask. So basically just a hollow frame. It's fairly squishy, so it shouldn't be uncomfortable when you're on your side. Okay, looking at the top elbow connection port, we can actually take the whole thing out fairly easily. So it's actually super easy to clean. And then we have kind of like this, I guess, connection port for the elbow right here. This is a medium. It only comes with medium. If you need a large or a small, you have to buy that separately. So that's something that you might want to keep in mind. If you have a large head, you might want to get just a mask that comes in a large frame because it might be cheaper than buying this and then buying the large after. That's if you know you have like a really large head. 85% of people with the adjustments on the back and stuff like that are going to fit the medium, and that's probably why they don't include a large or a small with the mask, because pretty much everyone fits with this size here. Now I'll put this back on. You just kind of have to go at a 45-degree angle, kind of squish it in, goes back in place. It takes a little bit of time to finesse, but once you do it, once you wash it 1 or 2 times, you're going to be a pro. Going down, like I said, we have silicone-based frame here, and on one side we have a little bit of a felt liner. It comes with 2 felt liners just to prevent any irritation on the side. Now we have the front. I find that the front nasal section goes around the nose and my nose very well. I feel like it seals very well, but the one downside to it that I've seen online and I kind of also agree with is that the front exhalation little hole there is a little bit like large, or just like it kind of jets out air when you're breathing and there's a lot of air pressure within the mask. I would have liked to see, again, on this pillow mask, it's not really a comparison because this is a nasal pillow mask, but like a diffuser on the front, but it's just a hole. Or if they could have made that hole half the size and made another little hole at the bottom, just so if you're sleeping with someone, it doesn't just air jet them and hit them in the eyelid and make them feel uncomfortable. If it would have diffused a little better, would have been fine. That being said, a lot of people don't really have problems with it. I've just seen a few comments on the internet where that has been the case. On the back side, we have 4 different places to adjust the straps. Okay, the 2 here are just Velcro. The bottom here is Velcro, and as well as a magnetic clip. So it just comes off like that for easy taking off and putting on. I quite like that. And so the top is just pretty much just Velcro. Now the bottom ones kind of seal the mask around the face, I've noticed. The top kind of tilts the mask up and kind of alleviates the pressure from the top of the mask. So if I loosen these, as you can see, it's still sealed around the nose, but it might kind of drag, and this is where you kind of want to adjust to make sure that the elbow is at the top of your head and the weight of the mask is not pulling down this way. Now for the mask fit, the top of the mask and the elbow shouldn't be hanging on down here. or it shouldn't be, up at the front of the face. If it's kind of at the front head, crown, forehead area, the mask is too small and you will need to get a larger adjustment. If it's pulling back too much, the mask is too large and you'll have to get a smaller adjustment. So it should be kind of still at the front-ish of the head, but at the top in a comfortable position where nothing's really feeling too tight. Now, I must say that the area that surrounds the nose of this nasal mask is quite comfortable. I'm supposed to use a medium with this mask based on the kind of the measurement little guide that they give you in the manual, but I kind of opt for a large instead. Even though I have a smaller nose, I don't have very much cartilage or structure in my nose, so even if it's a little bit lower, I feel it pinching and just pushing down my nose, and I find that large doesn't do that, goes around my nose quite comfortably, and still allows me to breathe in a very unobstructed way. So I'm gonna put this mask on now. I find that this mask actually really surrounds the nose quite well. If there's one thing that this mask does do well, and I'm really happy with, is just the way it fits, I guess, my nose. I'm assuming it fits everyone's nose, just the way it's kind of built and designed. You can see that it would flow and really bend to a majority of people's noses, and I think it is quite good that way. Last thing I would like to add to this mask is, especially if you're new to CPAP and you're debating like this mask and like a WISP, you don't know kind of the difference. The major difference between this and a WISP is that it's a top-mounted mask. And the reason why that is so important is that a lot of people find that if they're rolling around in bed, rolling around when they sleep, a front-mounted mask is heavy, it's cumbersome, it gives a little more of a claustrophobic feeling, and if they turn, it kind of goes maybe underneath their neck or kind of like, gets tangled up. With a top-mounted mask, if you have, this hose on a hook or, just around your nightstand somehow, or just kind of hanging down, you can roll. As you can see, I can do a 360 with this guy here, and it doesn't tangle up at all because the swivel is all away from your face and it's swiveling at the top of your head, okay? However, if we were to take this off and just pretend to put the mask in there, this is like more of a wisp situation, a traditional mask. If you're rolling, you do a 360, and as you can see, the tube is gonna tangle pretty quickly. So that's one thing that you might wanna consider if you're debating this and a traditional wisp, is the top elbow design. Overall, I would recommend the mask. I like the top mounting port. I think it's quite handy. I like the design of the mask. I feel that this soft area is quite soft, especially compared to some of the ResMed masks, which is more of a neoprene material. This is quite soft and I quite like that. And most importantly, I find that the seal is quite good, as well as just the adjustments for different noses and how this is shaped, I think fits me really well. And from what I'm looking at with the design, I feel like it would fit quite a lot of variety of different noses. So I think that overall, this mask is really good. It's pretty easy to take care of. Everything pops out really easily. That's kind of one thing I didn't really show you, is that, for example, this front guy here, it pops out seamlessly, like super easy. Nothing is like overly jammed in. The design is quite good. You can take it apart in seconds to clean, just like that. So I think overall the mask is kind of a winner from Philips, and I'm quite happy with it. You can find the mask at thecpapstore.ca. Use code YouTube10 to get 10% off anything on the website. Be sure to check the homepage first though. Sometimes we have even better promos, so use that promo code if it's better. But YouTube10 will always give you 10% off. I hope you enjoyed this video.